The Industrial Web Trends module gives you all you need in a modern web-based trending tool. It opens up a whole new way in which to use DreamReport. Historical and real-time trending with alarm overlays are available in different chart types. By accessing DreamReport's extensive set of communication drivers, you can trend pretty much any data you have in your operations, including calculated tags and mixing data from completely different sources into a single trend. Users can create and save their own trend configurations, annotate trends, or make them private or public for other users to access. Raw data, statistical data, and alarm information can be displayed, printed, and exported to common formats. It's a complete interactive trending and data extraction solution localized into 14 languages. In addition to being integrated into the DreamReport web portal, it can be accessed as a standalone trending tool from any browser and can be embedded into other HMI SCADA systems and web applications. Here I'm going to open Trend from the DreamReport web portal. On the left panel, we see all the configured communication drivers, data models, and alarm filters we've chosen to expose to the web portal. Items can be added to a trend by dragging or by clicking the Add button. You have extensive control over line appearance and display settings, colors, lines or markers, custom labels, scaling, and much more. You'll notice the first few tags are analog tags, and when we add a discrete or Boolean tag, the plot style automatically changes to reflect the binary nature of the data. Tags can be overlaid and plotted on a common y-axis or stacked for visual clarity. We'll jump down to the predefined alarm filters here, and then I'll add a high priority alarm. These are shown with a bell icon. General settings like visual themes, grid colors and visibility, localization settings, and more can be set. Let's change a few settings here. I'll hover over a few of these alarms, which are actually being retrieved from a completely different system from the process historian tags above. Using the rubber select zoom, we can stretch in over an area that we want to examine in more detail. Here we see a spike in the flow data, so this would be a good place to annotate the trend. I want others to see this comment, so we'll make it public. Now let's take a look at the raw data, and then the statistical calculations of this trend data. We're presented with the basic min, max, and average values, but the user can select from a large library of functions. As you zoom in or out on the trend, the raw data and statistical calculations will be updated to reflect the trend plot. We can export the raw and statistical data to either CSV or PDF formats. Let me look for alarms from the Reactor alarm group. Clicking on the Alarms tab shows the associated alarm details, and the user can pick from any alarm properties available from the specific alarm data source. Here I'll add a few more properties, and again, we can export the alarm data. I'll switch now to a Save Trend configuration, this time showing building environmental data. You'll notice somebody has already made a comment here on the trend, and we can view some associated alarms and events. Using my mouse, I can zoom in and out, and pan left and right. Time periods can be defined by fixed periods, relative or absolute times, and even batch-based. Users can create reusable named time periods such as first shift, second shift, last 3 batches, etc. You'll notice a static line here that's showing the average temperature of the temperature being trended. This is called a calculation line and can be a static set point, a calculated value, a regression line, or a marker indicating whenever a new batch occurs. These are user-defined and saved with the trend configuration. What I want to do now is add markers where I've identified specific events. This will allow me to see instantaneous values as I slide the markers, and if I add multiple markers, see the value and time deltas between markers for the selected tag. I have another trend here where I want to turn on live mode. In live mode, the trend updates at a user-specified rate and plots any new values being retrieved. Finally, I'd like to print this trend configuration. I can select which parts of the trend to print, as well as which pens to include in the output.